We all grew up hearing blood is thicker than water, right? It was the land of the law of the lands, and you were told you had to love, honor, and hold it down because that's family. But let's keep it real. Now that we're in the middle chapter, we've realized that some blood has our blood pressure at an all-time high for decades. So today, we're getting into the heart of it all. We're asking the question, does blood alone define family? Or is family more about who keeps you sane than who shares your DNA? Grab your tea or something a little stronger and let's get into it. Welcome to the middle chapter. All right, ladies.
Welcome, welcome,
Yeah,
welcome.
welcome. So, my question today, guys, does blood alone define family?
No,
No,
it doesn't. It's just
absolutely
it's
not. I mean, if it did, then there wouldn't be a need for adoption or to have foster kids because they're not blood, but they're family. I mean, family is chosen a lot of times.
well, yeah. In that aspect, there's adoptions, there's step siblings,
Mhm.
step parents that become family. There's surrogate parents who you're like, I'll tell everybody that I have a surrogate daughter. She's not really a surrogate daughter, but she is because I met her when she was 16 or 17, and she's been like my daughter ever since. So, and she's family. But then there are friendships that turn family because there's some of your
Mhm.
friends that are closer than your family.
Mhm.
And I think that's because the expectation is different. You know, your family has a greater expectation of you than your friendships do. Your friends accept you for face value, and your family may have a measuring stick that you just can't seem to reach, and they will, and some families will hold that over your head or hold you to that they can only see you in that light.
Yeah, I agree.
And sometimes I know you can't help what family you're born into. You might not like your family, but sometimes you're dealt the cards that you're dealt with. And when you get of age, or you can do things to change that. So I know a common thing that I'm starting to hear right now are a lot of these young people are going, no contact with their family, and they're actually making their friends their chosen family. So, you know, back then they couldn't do anything, with the cards that they were dealt, but now they can. And so they're choosing to to have that circle around them that's going to protect them and love them no matter what, give them that unconditional love that they didn't get when they were growing up from their biological family. Is they have a chosen family.
And I don't think it's just young people, to be honest. So, why do you think more people are choosing to go non contact with their family?
um
Peace of
Now
mind.
I will say that some people, just grow up in abusive families,
Mhm.
whether it's physical abuse or mental abuse. Some people just grow up in those type of families, and now it's more not socially acceptable to go out and, to create new family structures around them, their own support system. Other people are seeing are doing it as a fad. You know, they they didn't like the discipline that they were getting growing up, even though they weren't abused. They don't like correction, so they want yes people around them, and their family does not contribute to their mess.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll piggyback kind of what Tara said. Um, I mentioned earlier, peace of mind. So a lot of people may be choosing their own family or creating their own family and not um, continuing the relationships of the people that they knew while growing up because of abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse. There could be a lot of that, and that can contribute to a lot of stress in your life, and stress can kill you. And so a lot of people decide that, hey, I don't need this and I don't need the added pressure. Let me love you from afar, and I'll just, these people right here are the people that I'm going to deal with, I'm going to focus on, and all my time will be spent with them. And I may check up on you every once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
or I may not, but I'm just going to not have you a part of my everyday life because it's stressful and I want to be well. A lot of people are sick, and sometimes that stress is keeping them sick.
You know what? I've thought a lot about this topic, and I'm going to say I think sometimes this even stems from a lack of communication. And families, like, just because we share the same name, the same blood, doesn't mean that we all think the same way, we all forgive the same way, that we can communicate with each other the same way. And that can lead to non-contact. You guys talk about having family meetings when you were growing up. Like, if you don't come from that, then you don't know how to communicate with each other. You know what I'm saying?
So who then becomes the communicator? Who takes the lead and say, I'm going to be the one to reach out and communicate these things?
It really depends on the situation as to why you're no contact. Because if you are physically abused as a child, you don't want to go back and contact your abuser ever again. And that you might be no contact with that person. If it's just something that you had a disagreement and disagreement about over something and you fell out, because family fight, and you went no contact, and you just have to, at some point, maybe somebody is going to have to be the adult and not apologize, but maybe you have to get a mediator involved. Maybe counseling would be important at this point to try to get you two back together. You may not you may not come back in agreement, but you can agree to disagree. Like, I respect your opinion, you respect mine.
At some point, not anybody that's been abused, because that's a different situation, I think, that I'm speaking of. But if there's a disagreement that caused the rift, or if there's a misunderstanding, at some point, someone has to say, and it could be a third party, that say, you know what, I need y'all to come together and have this conversation. Oftentimes, people don't want to have hard conversations.
No.
People don't want to, or they'll have a hard conversation and they don't like the response that they got. So then there's that empty space of, okay, I had a conversation. Oh no, nope, you're not getting it. Oh nope, you know what I'm saying? So then it's okay, overcoming that hump so now it's a decision. Okay, do I want to continue to have you understand my side? Because I think most issues are understanding. You don't understand me, I don't understand you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we don't like what we don't understand. We fear what we don't understand. I don't understand it, so I'm gonna just leave you over there. And that's okay to an extent. But when you're blood related, there's that, that covering, that forgiveness piece that says, okay, let me try to figure out how to come together, and knowing that you may never understand my side. You may never get me, you may never understand it, but I've been able to express myself, you've been able to express yourself, and now let's move forward, which ain't easy either. It ain't easy either to move forward, because in the back of your head, it's still there. It shouldn't be, but it's still there. So,
and you know what? In the Black family, sometimes people, like, if you have, somebody else, like, they don't want to get in your business. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to be involved. They're going to be like, they might listen to you and give you advice. But if you're like, we should bring the family together, and don't nobody want to be that person to try to.
That's why you pray about it and ask God how you should move. And then just, I guess, he will, if you have a relationship with him, he will direct you to how you should move to get that situation resolved, or if it ever really should get resolved.
Yeah.
Because maybe he removed them people from your life for a reason.
And that's tough when it's family. That's real tough when it's family. Yeah. But you're right.
Then there's a whole piece of you that grieves the loss of your family that's still living. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You grieve the relationship that you had with that person or people or set of people.
I mean, your family is supposed to teach you how to love other people in spite of your differences, not
Mhm.
because of your differences, because if you love someone, because they believe the same belief that you believe, instead of loving them because they're able to teach you a different perspective of a certain, thing, I think that's what as a person who likes to look at everything from different angles, my friends are so diverse, and I think it's because, I love people in spite of our differences, not because we all believe the same things.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that wants a yes group. Who wants a yes group? Did you just say
Right.
yes to everything
Mhm.
I say and you just agree with that?
Oh, dude. That person's in the White House right now.
That's exactly what you get when you surround yourself by yes people. That's exactly what the monster that gets created.
Yeah, I don't want a yes person. I need somebody to have a different perspective.
Absolutely.
That's
Mhm.
how
Can
you
be
learn
Different
from other people's
experiences.
differences. Yeah.
Yeah. What I don't like is people feeling like because you're their family. I've seen in families where you got to uphold the nonsense because they're family. The uphold like you can't. Well, that's family, and that's just how so and so is. Well, why is
Yes.
that okay? Why is it okay that everybody can just tiptoe around because so and so is just that way?
And that's
And
why
we
people
just
don't know
have to.
contact.
We have to accept that so and so is that.
We grew up in a household that had family meetings that communicated that way.
Yeah.
Though. A lot of people don't grow up in households like that.
No.
And so
No, they don't.
Going
Right.
back, and so that's probably why they don't. It's hard for them to have conversations with family members they're at odds with.
100%. And if there was
We had practice growing up.
exactly, but I'm in like I've said before, like you guys are really blessed to have that foundation of communication in your family. And if you had like a person in your family that was the mediator that made you communicate with each other and they're no longer here,
Yeah,
that's tough too.
if the communicator decide they don't want to communicate no more, because people get tired.
Yes, people get tired.
People get
People
tired.
get tired. And sometimes
Yeah.
like that's why you go non-contact too, just to protect your peace.
The family dynamics really need some work.
Yes.
Across the board, it really needs some work, and it's hard. It's a hard thing to get over. It's a hard thing to come together, to have the conversation. What do I say? Who do I say it to? Who's going to be upset? Even on the podcast, who's going to watch the podcast and be texting my phone? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Family is just it's very sensitive. Families can be very sensitive to certain things. It's like you just gotta pray. You just gotta stay prayed up and stay in your bubble until you're ready to have the conversation.
Yes.
Put you in the box over there until we're ready to have a conversation and all come together. But we all have to be like-minded when it's time to come together.
And be willing to do so. Yeah.
And be willing to do so. And then maybe we won't have an era of no contact. Because imagine that. If that's a fad and that's going around, like what does the future look like for the family?
Yeah.
And your children that's coming
I think
up.
a lot of
And
the
the children.
breakdown.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the breakdown of families has to do with the loss of communication, because we forget how to communicate with each other. And so I think, to build the family up to be stronger, I think every family could benefit from some type of therapy that teaches you how to communicate with each other.
Absolutely.
Because it's not all about sometimes coming to an agreement on the same thing, but maybe seeing each other from different perspectives and understanding why they think the way that they think, even if you're not going to agree on it, on the topic at hand. At least you understand each other from where, on why you're believing the things that you believe. And that all comes with communication.
It does. and people
Absolutely.
benefit over getting it out. There's a lot of people that just need to get it out. They don't even need you to forgive or to understand. They just want you to hear them. Just let me get it off my chest. Because that's something that, if, you got kids involved in the family. So what does that teach the children? You know what I'm saying? That's that whole conflict resolution that the children have to be able to have. Now that I did hear once of people not speaking to their parents. I did, and I thought it was weird just because that's weird to me. I talk to my mom almost every day, and I know that's weird for some people because they'll talk to their mother every day. But I legit talk to a member of my family every single day. Somebody in the family will hear from me every day. It's at different days, but mama's consistent almost every single day.
As you can hear from everybody, communication is, the most important thing, and also the willingness to heal and to move forward as well. So, thanks for joining us on the middle chapter, and we'll see you next time.